There's an issue. Zhao Yu was suspecting that Xiao Bingbing might be conspiring with Lu Siyu to test him. If it were Song Han, Zhao Yu would have went out with her without any concern. After all, Xiao Bingbing is Lu Siyu's roommate, and they are often inseparable. What if it's a test? If he agree now, his mission of the owner's last wishes might be ruined. Zhao Yu looked up and saw Lu Siyu and Xiao Bingbing interacting amicably. This is how people talking behind one's back? I'm sorry, one only love one person in my life. Neither in spirit nor physically will. One stray. When Xiao Bingbing saw the reply, she could not replay instantly. She did not expect this kind of reply, and she had no idea how to deal with him. This kind of man must be won over. It seems she'll need other methods if she's going to snatch Zhao Yu from Lu Siyu's grasp. Ding! The class bell rang and the next class was computer class. He was about to get up when he suddenly heard a commotion outside the classroom. Huang Zilong is here. Just as Zhao Yu was curious, Huang Zilong already stepped in. All the eyes in the class were drawn to him. Huang Zilong scanned the room and quickly located Zhao Yu. Is the money ready? Zhao Yu asked with a smile. Huang Zilong admired Zhao Yu's calm demeanor even in the face of danger. Here is 10 million. The password is 6/8. Enjoy the last month of your life. With that, he turned around and left. Everyone in the class shifted their eyes away from Huang Zilong and lusted for the card on the table. There's 10 million in the card. The password is 6/8. Gulp. There were quite a few sounds of people swallowing hard. Many had their eyes looking at Zhao Yu as if they wanted to devour him. When Huang Zilong reached the classroom door, he shouted, "The 10 million is a bet between me and Zhao Yu. Anyone with ulterior motives, dead." This statement sobered many. Of course, it's the Huang family's 10 million, with Su Xiaoxiao as a witness. Who would dare touch it? Everyone looked regretful and had complicated feelings towards Zhao Yu. They envied his control over IO Million but pitied him, as he only had 1 month to live. In the front row, Lu Siyu's heartbeat sped up. She looked at Zhao Yu, getting increasingly anxious. Will he give me the money in front of everyone? Or in private? If he gave it to me in front of everyone, would people hate her? A few girls around looked at Lu Siyu excitedly. LTRS here. The money is here. See you. Don't forget us. Zhao Yu finally made a move. He casually picked up the bank card, got up from his seat, and headed towards the exit of the classroom. Everyone was closely watching Zhao Yu's every move. When Lu Siyu saw Zhao Yu leaving the classroom, she felt somewhat disappointed but still said with a smile, "Zhao Yu must be afraid to give it to me now, to avoid causing a scene. So nice. He's so considerate." The surrounding girls immediately became envious. Lu Siyu felt elated, lifting her head high with pride. She thought that Zhao Yu should be messaging her soon, right? Given Huang Zilong's warning, the students' thoughts about the bank card in Zhao Yu's possession slowly faded. Zhao Yu went to the ATM, checked RHE balance. Only then did he feel relieved. It seems they didn't intend to default on this, which aligns with my guess. Zhao Yu nodded slightly and then headed towards the computer classroom. Halfway there, a boy with a bruised face blocked his way. Zhao Yu, the blonde-haired boy, Huang Mao. How many times had he been beaten by De Hainyo? Zhao Yu really could not recognize his face any longer. The task you gave me. I've done it. Now it's your turn. Huang Mao would like to collect the money now. Don't worry, I'll help you settle things. But for now, come with me to class. Class? After all that had happened, Zhao Yu still had the patience to attend class? Is he trying to fob me off? As he was thinking this, Zhao Yu continued walking ahead. After some hesitation, Huang Mao followed. He had also heard that Huang Zilong came to school to give the money to Zhao Yu, fearing Zhao Yu might directly hand the money to Lu Siyu. If that happened, he would have been beaten up for nothing. Moreover, he believed there was a good chance that Zhao Yu would give the money to Lu Siyu. Lucidly, on his way, he had heard rumors that Zhao Yu did not give the money to Lu Siyu but went straight to the ATM. Hence, he waited for Zhao Yu on the road. Soon, the two entered the lecture hall, one after the other. Sitting in his familiar old spot, Zhao Yu instructed Huang Mao, "Stay by my side and don't let anyone approach me." "Where's my money?" Huang Mao took the opportunity to ask again. However, Zhao Yu ignored him and began to work. Huang Mao really wanted to beat up Zhao Yue and took his money. He held back and resigned himself to playing the role of a doorkeeper. In a short while, Hua Xiaoxi arrived. Upon seeing Zhao Yu again, she was instantly furious, rolling up her sleeves, ready to charge at him. Before she could reach him, Huang Mao stopped her. After some struggle, Hua Xiaoxi took another seat. However, her eyes remained fixed on Zhao Yu, glaring fiercely at him. Zhao Yu didn't even notice it, seemingly oblivious to the world around him. In reality, Zhao Yu didn't have the time for these trivial matters. All his focus was on programming. Artificial intelligence was an essential tool he had initiated earlier, and he was determined to develop it. Huang Mao was initially worried that Zhao Yu might secretly transfer the money to Lu Siyu. With Zhao Yu deeply engrossed in programming, Huang Mao couldn't help but admire him. This guy's really was a top student. As far as he knew, Zhao Yu wasn't from the computer science course. Yet, the speed at which he was coding rivaled that of computer science students. He might even better than any one of them here. Over an hour passed. Click. With the last line of code typed, Zhao Yu finally stopped. On the computer screen, a line appeared automatically. Please name me my master. Xiao Lu then. Zhao Yu casually named it, and then took out his phone, installing a program that would allow him to communicate with Xiao Lu. Zhao Yu tested the capabilities of the artificial intelligence. It was indeed more powerful than the artificial intelligence of this world, but it hadn't reached the level where it could think independently. This was mainly limited by the host and server capacities, as the computational power was constrained. Nevertheless, Zhao Yu was quite satisfied as it fully met his initial needs. Soon, with Xiao Lu's assistance, Zhao Yu rapidly began understanding this world, especially the affairs concerning Bing City. When he accessed certain confidential files that ordinary people couldn't get, his concern rose up. It seems my plan needs modification. He had originally thought that the Su family was just one of the many prominent families in Bing City. However, based on the confidential files and various clues provided by Xiao Lu, he realized that the Su family ruled Bing City. The city lord of Bing City belonged to the Su family, but the city lord wasn't the head of the family. By estimates, the head of the Su family held a position even higher than the city lord. The primary reason for this was the Su family's role in representing the government in selling goods in crucial sectors. Most importantly, the rights to manage and sell firearms were held by the Su family. From this, it was clear that the Su family's military power was unchallengeable in Bing City. As the bell rang signaling the end of class, Zhao Yu remained seated, revising his plan. During this time, Huang Mao approached to remind him of something. Seeing no response from Zhao Yu, he didn't dare disturb him further and just waited. Hua Xiaoxi, still holding her grudge, was the last student to leave, keeping her eyes fixed on Zhao Yu. After a long while, Zhao Yu slowly came back to his senses, formulating new ideas and plans in his mind. It seems feasible. Without Uncle De or Colonel Chu, he had to rely on himself for all strategic planning. Zhao Yu was fully aware that his plans were in a bit rough. But for now, this was the best he could do. After finalizing the details, Zhao Yu stood up and said to Huang Mao, "Now, arrange a meeting with your boss." Huang Mao's eyes lit up. "Are you going to help me?" "Yes, I'll help you settle things. Go and arrange the meeting." Zhao Yu nodded. Without pausing, he continued to jot down notes and sketches on the computer, swiftly producing several designs. He then issued some commands to Xiao Lu. On the other side, Huang Mao finished his call. "Brother Yu, it's set. We'll meet in a private room at the KTV outside the school." "How's that? Let's go." Zhao Yu closed his laptop, ready to leave. However, just as he was about to step out, a petite girl stepped forward to block his path. "You can't leave." Zhao Yu looked down and responded, "You're that girl from before?" Hua Xiaoxi was instantly furious, realizing from Zhao Yu's tone that he had no idea she had been glaring at him for almost 2 hours. "You? Stealing my seat and letting your dog bite someone?" Zhao Yu touched his nose, surprised that she would hold such a grudge over just a seat. Did she really want to make an issue out of this? "What do you want?" "Apologize." "What for?" "Seats are for everyone. How did I steal your seat?" "If you don't leave, I'll call someone." "You dare to call someone?" Hua Xiao, she was so angry her nose seemed to skew. She looked like she wanted to bite him. The blonde also acted as a bodyguard and took the initiative to block in front of Zhao Yu. Do you dare to leave your name? Hua Xiao, she knew that it was not a good time to start a conflict, so she asked Zhao Yu for his name. My name is Zhao Yu. Welcome you to find me anytime. With that, he walked past her and left the classroom. Hua Xiao, she did not stop him. Zhao Yu? Is it that Zhao Yu who jumped into the lake? She quickly took out her phone to search for information related to Zhao Yu. As expected, she found some candid photos of Zhao Yu taken by students. The person in the photos was identical to the one she had just confronted. It's really him. Hua Xiao, she was surprised, not expecting that she had a conflict with such a celebrity. So what if he's famous? Bullying me will make him regret it. She quickly became enraged and then made another phone call. Zhao Yu followed Huang Mao out of the school and entered a nearby KTV. They proceeded to a large private room. Inside the room, 5 men and 3 women were singing. As soon as they saw Huang Mao enter, they immediately stopped. Turn off the music. The one who leading the group was a man in his 30s, with a stubbly face. Upon seeing Huang Mao, he smirked. Have you collected the money? Huang Mao moved aside, revealing Zhao Yu behind him. Zhao Yu took a look around the room, walked in, and pulled a chair to sit down, minding his own business. Stubble-bearded Big Brother gave his underlings a signal. 2 of them moved to the door, blocking the exit. He sneered, Huang Mao, what's the meaning of bringing someone here? Huang Mao quickly explained, this is my brother Yu. He's here to pay the money for me. Stubble-bearded Big Brother immediately broke into a smile. All right, do you prefer a bank transfer, card payment, or cash? He pulled out a POS machine from a woman's purse. It was evident that he was very familiar with this kind of transaction. Hold on, shouldn't I at least know what this is all about? Stubble-bearded Big Brother wasn't concerned. After all, they were 5 men on his side. They weren't worried about being outnumbered. There's not much to say. This Huang Mao slept with my woman. If I don't take any action, how can I maintain my authority among my men? The surrounding underlings tried hard to suppress their laughter. From their reactions, Zhao Yu almost concluded that this was a scam. The so-called Big Brother's woman was just an excuse to extort Huang Mao. So, how much do you want? The stubble-bearded Big Brother, observing Zhao Yu's composed demeanor, quickly inflated the initial figure he had in mind, 200,000. What? Wasn't it 100,000? Huang Mao accused them. Humph. 100,000 per day. You're a day late, so it's 200,000 now. This? Huang Mao was panicked. Just as he was about to protest, 2 underlings grabbed him. He could only turn to Zhao Yu for support now. I brought him here. Do you think he'll run? Let him go. Zhao Yu calmly said. The stubble-bearded Big Brother, noticing that Zhao Yu was not fazed even after hearing the sum of 200,000, felt he had a big fish on the hook. He immediately grinned and rebuked his underlings. Let him go. The 2 underlings instantly released Huang Mao. Stubble-bearded Big Brother, with a gleeful expression, looked at Zhao Yu and asked, May I know the name of this gentleman? Zhao Yu. With those words, the 3 women in the private room exclaimed. The other 5 men had no reaction. Stubble-bearded Big Brother, with a stubbled chin, was momentarily puzzled and turned to ask, Do you know him? The 3 women immediately explained to the stubble-bearded Big Brother. When he heard that Zhao Yu had 10 million, his eyes widened in disbelief. You have 10 million? Stubble-bearded Big Brother's breathing became rapid. He stood up, looking at Zhao Yu in disbelief. Yes. Zhao Yu nodded slightly. Upon hearing this, stubble-bearded Big Brother signaled to his several henchmen in an instant. The 5 men surrounded Zhao Yu. Huang Mao was alarmed and quickly said, Don't mess around. His 10 million was earned at great risk. The 5 men were already blinded by the prospect of wealth, paying no attention to these warnings. Zhao Yu gave a contemptuous smile, took out the bank card from his pocket, and slapped it on the table. The password is 6/8. Stubble-bearded Big Brother couldn't care less about anything else. He went up quickly to grab the bank card. The gazes of the other 4 men were also fixed on the bank card. Brother, you're really generous. Stubble-bearded Big Brother laughed heartily. The texture of the bank card, as if he couldn't bear to let it go. It was 2 million. This? Huang Mao hadn't expected that by seeking Zhao Yu's help, he would end up getting everyone involved. If he had known it would turn out like this, Zhao Yu could have just given him the money directly. Zhao Yu nodded slightly, having a basic understanding of their backgrounds and realizing a way to control them. Big Brother, what should we do with these two? Someone asked. Let them go, let them go. Stubble-bearded Big Brother said unconsciously as he held the card. One of the women screamed, You can't let them go. What's going on? Stubble-bearded Big Brother asked. This money is given by the Huang family. They gave it to him because of a bet. If we let him go, the Huang family might come after us. Stubble-bearded Big Brother reached for his waist and pulled out a gun. Huang Mao was immediately terrified and didn't dare to speak. Zhao Yu remained very calm and composed. He said calmly, Are you thinking of killing me? Stubble-bearded Big Brother held the gun, pointed it at Zhao Yu, and after careful consideration, he put it away. He replaced it with a pry bar, seemingly afraid that firing a gunshot would attract attention. Brother, don't blame me. If you want to blame someone, blame the state of this world. Stubble-bearded Big Brother had already sentenced Zhao Yu to death. Hee. Unexpectedly, Zhao Yu was not flustered at all. Instead, he gave a contemptuous smile. Everyone in the room felt a sense of dread. Stubble-bearded Big Brother also felt a bit uneasy and didn't rush to take action. Do you have any last word? Do you think if I die, you can leave here alive? Zhao Yu calmly said. What do you mean? Stubble-bearded Big Brother became nervous. Do you know how I got this 10 million? The Huang family gave it to you, Stubble-bearded Big Brother replied. Why did the Huang family give me 10 million? For the bet? Stubble-bearded Big Brother was somewhat confused. I am an orphan with no family. Why would the Huang family risk 10 million in a bet with me? Do you think they would go to such great lengths to kill me? The group of men started to realize that something was not right. I bet against the Huang family because Su Xiao, the legitimate daughter of the Su family, was involved as a witness, Zhao Yu explained. So, in order for the Su family, the Huang family had to come up with 10 million and ensure I stay alive for a month. Otherwise, the Su family would wipe them out. As Zhao Yu narrated his story, the group of men was shocked by the truth. The Su family? Any disciple of these two titans could easily kill them. The two families had to protect Zhao Yu from death for at least a month. If he died, it would be a stain to both the families' honor. Huang and Su families. Stubble-bearded Big Brother afraid anything happened to Zhao Yu. They would probably not even be able to leave the Bing city and would be tortured to death. Big Brother, if we kill him here, who will know it was us? However, one of his underlings was unwilling to give up. This statement immediately piqued Stubble-bearded Big Brother's interest. Do you believe that there are already members of the Huang family in this KTV? Everyone raised their awareness and noticed the surrounding was quiet. Tell your men to go out and check the guests in the hallway and see how many of armed men was outside. Zhao Yu continued. Ambush. One of the henchmen sneered. This KTV is not a big establishment. Besides our boss, who else would have the qualifications to carry any weapons? As he spoke, he suddenly froze and quickly realized. Anyone who can carry weapons in a KTV is definitely not an insignificant figure. Stubble-bearded Big Brother's heart stirred, and he said, Ergo Dan, the two of you go out and take a look. They quickly left the private room. The private room fell tense in the progress of waiting. Except for Zhao Yu, who was calmly playing with his phone. Stubble-bearded Big Brother held onto the bank card tightly, unwilling to let go of this opportunity. The two henchmen rushed back in a panic. Big Brother, it's bad. All the guests were evacuated. There are more than a dozen guys with guns in the KTV corridor. At the entrance, several armed men are blocking it. Damn it! Stubble-bearded Big Brother cursed. It turned out that members of the Huang family had been following him. The bank card in his hand suddenly felt like a one-way ticket to hell. He quickly tossed it onto the table. Aren't you going to kill me now? Zhao Yu asked with a smile. Upon hearing this, everyone in the private room felt somewhat embarrassed, except for Huang Mao. His face was filled with delight. He hadn't expected Zhao Yu to be so formidable. He really never, though, of someone at his age could be able to overpower the adults. Huang Mao never, though, of fighting stubble-bearded big brother for his own right. Deep down, he started to admire Zhao Yu. If anyone else were in Zhao Yu's shoes, could they have orchestrated a situation where the Huang family willingly handed over 10 million and provided protection? Threat the under-circle adults? As a gangster himself, he don't even has the courage. Huang Mao realized that Zhao Yu wasn't as simple as he appeared. Nope. With his own witness, Huang Mao could said this. Zhao Yu was not ordinary at all. Not just Huang Mao's. Everyone in the private room had a hint of fear in their eyes when they looked at Zhao Yu. Especially stubble-bearded big brother, who felt like he had encountered a formidable adversary. For them who survived long enough underground, they were truly insignificant. Brother, I was blind to not recognize your greatness. I'm here to make amends. Stubble-bearded big brother understood the situation now, so he quickly grabbed a bottle of alcohol and started chugging it down. After downing the bottle, he held it up with the mouth down, indicating that he hadn't left a drop. Is the matter with Huang Mao settled? It's settled. Brother, I admire you. Daring to take money from the Huang family, unlike us, who only dare to target ordinary people, stubble-bearded big brother mentioned. All within the room, especially the three women in the room, looked at him with admiration. Stubble-bearded big brother quickly pulled over one of the women and said, Brother, if you're still not satisfied, this is my woman. Have fun with her. Seriously? Huang Mao was dumbfounded. The consequence for him was either money or get killed. With Zhao Yu, the woman was given away for free. Stubble-bearded big brother became anxious as Zhao Yu never reacted to his offer and brought 2 more women over, saying, One isn't enough. How about 2 more? I am not interested in these women. Just keep them for yourself. Zhao Yu claimed. This remark made the 3 women show their displeasure, but they dared not say much. Stubble-bearded big brother also felt uncomfortable, but didn't dare to show his anger. All right, if you don't mind, brother, 1 foot 11 inches treat you to some young ones. The other 4 henchmen also felt aggrieved, but there was nothing they could do. They were scared off by the gunmen outside and just wanted Zhao Yu off with ASAP. How much money can you earn in a month? This question left everyone in the room bewildered. Stubble-bearded big brother hesitated for a moment, wondering about Zhao Yu's intentions. After some thought, including his peripheral henchmen, he gave a number. Huang Mao finally realized that he had been fooled by stubble-bearded big brother. If I had been able to control my little brother back then, I wouldn't have all these troubles now. How many brothers do you have under your command? Well, stubble-bearded big brother hesitated for a moment, not sure of Zhao Yu's intentions. After some thought, he counted even his peripheral henchmen and gave a number. Just 15 people? Zhao Yu looked somewhat disappointed. Stubble-bearded big brother quickly asked, Brother, what are you planning to do? 15 is still some numbers. I'll hire your brothers for 1 million per month. Are you interested? Zhao Yu offered some job to them. 1 million. Everyone in the room stared at each other with surprise. Especially the 3 women who had been dissatisfied with Zhao Yu before were now in a state of agitation. Brother, whoever you want to kill, just say the word. It's limited to ordinary people only. If you take a liking to any woman, we'll make sure to bring her to you. Zhao Yu shook his head and said, No need for you to kill or kidnap anyone. I plan to open a business, and I need people to oversee it. Are you interested in helping out for 1 million a month? Oversee a business? Stubble-bearded big brother was pleased, thinking it was going to be some dangerous operation. He didn't expect it to be just overseeing a business. No big deal. He readily agreed. Zhao Yu nodded and said, Good, inform your people, get them ready. When I buy the establishment, they can come over. Yes. All stubble-bearded big brother could think about was that 1 million. With that money, he would lay off soon. Zhao Yu finally picked up the card and put it in his pocket. This time, no one dared to covet his bank card anymore. Do you guys have some free time now? Zhao Yu suddenly asked. Yes. Just tell us what to do, and we'll do it, stubble-bearded big brother replied. Zhao Yu nodded and asked, Are there any black markets nearby? Black markets? Stubble-bearded big brother was thought for a while before answering, Yes, There are two black markets nearby, one big and one small. Take me there, Zhao Yu said. Stubble-bearded big brother was concerned and quickly said, Brother, black markets are full of all sorts of people. If they find out who you are, with just our small group, we won't be able to protect you. Black markets were not the kind of place they could control. People like Stubble-bearded big brother and his gang all had roots in the local area, so they mostly engaged in small-scale activities. In the black markets, there were ruthless individuals who wouldn't care about your identity. Even if you were from a big family, you could still be killed there. It's all right. Zhao Yu waved his hand and said, Aren't there people outside protecting me? As he pointed in the direction of the Huang family's men, Stubble-bearded big brother finally remembered that there were people from the Huang family accompanying Zhao Yu. All right, 1 foot 11 inches take you there now. Without hesitation, Stubble-bearded big brother agreed. Is your gun real? It's real. I spent a lot of money to buy it from the black market. Stubble-bearded big brother took out his gun. Let me have a look. Zhao Yu reached out his hand. Stubble-bearded big brother was concerned about whether to hand it to a young man. Before his could reject, Zhao Yu already took it. To take it over like this, brother, it's loaded with bullets. Be careful not to fire accidentally. He reluctantly handed the gun over. Huang Mao, who was on the side, felt anxious. He was afraid that Zhao Yu might accidentally killed Stubble-bearded big brother or himself. In his eyes, Zhao Yu was unpredictable, and he could do anything. Zhao Yu took the handgun and casually played with it for a moment. He found that the gun's workmanship was very rough, lacking in detail, and even the bullets were rusty. This gun had changed hands many times, and it was uncertain whether it could still fire properly. How long have you had this gun? About 2 months. How much did you pay for it? Stubble-bearded big brother hesitated for a moment, but eventually told the truth, about 50,000. Zhao Yu then asked, Why didn't you buy it from a gun shop? It should be cheaper there, right? Gun shops require qualifications to make purchases. Their products are mostly for display, and only big families can go there. We can only deal with this kind of stuff. This information matched what he had learned from Shaolu. In Bing City, there was no domestic weapon production factory. Weapons and equipment were imported at high prices from other places, and the profits were minimal. The Su family also had to earn money from other big families. Therefore, for his first business venture, Zhao Yu planned to set up a weapon production line. After playing with the gun for a while, Zhao Yu tossed it back to Stubble-bearded big brother and walked towards the exit. Let's go. Take me to the largest black market nearby. Send the name and photo over, and I'll teach him a lesson for you. Bro, his name is Zhao Yu. Here's his photo. Hua Xiaoxi found a photo of Zhao Yu in the school group chat and sent it over. Bro, don't be too harsh on him. Just teach him some manner. Don't worry, I know my limits. Hua Xiaoxi sighed in relief, ended the call, and a triumphant smile appeared on her face. Zhao Yu, you dare bully me? Let's see how my brother disciplines you. On the other end of the call, a man with a scar on his face commended his men. Brothers, grab your weapons. Time to get to work. Boss, what's the deal this time? Hua Dahai coldly replied, Some bastard bullied my sister. What do you think? The group of men became instantly indignant. Bullying our boss's sister is the same as bullying our sister. Exactly. Let's go and take revenge for our sister. Hua Dahai handed the photo and named to one of the men, Bro, find out where this guy is. If he left the school, notify me immediately. No problem. Zhao Yu, led by Stubble-bearded big brother, boarded an old car and chugged its way towards the outskirts of the city. Following their car from not too far away were more than 10 armored vehicles. Big brother, with them following us like this, is everything okay? A henchman asked with concern. Stubble-bearded big brother confidently responded, These are people protecting brother Zhao Yu. They're our own. What is there to be afraid of? Zhao Yu sat with his eyes closed in the passenger seat. Zhao Yu's purpose of visiting the black market was straightforward, to make a flamboyant appearance and reveal his intentions. According to the data from Shaolu, there are 3 manufacturers in the Bing city that meet the criteria, all on the brink of bankruptcy. An acquisition might lead them to see him as an easy target, and negotiations might not proceed smoothly. Thus, Zhao Yu planned to employ a tactic, revealing his intention to make a small investment for a big return, hoping the manufacturers would approach him. In reality, there are many better factories than those three. In fact, the Su family owns a factory fully equipped to manufacture firearms on its own. But such factories are clearly out of his reach. Even if he went directly to negotiate with the Su family, he'd likely be put under house arrest and become a researcher for the Su family. So, Zhao Yu's plan was to keep his life safe while staying out of the Su family and building his own force. As for the possibility of failure, he hadn't considered it. Only success exists. There is no room for failure now. After reviewing the plan in his mind and ensuring that there were no major issues, Zhao Yu finally opened his eyes and asked, "Where's the black market?" "It's outside the city." "Brother Yu, what are we doing at the black market?" "You don't need to concern yourself with that. Just do your job well, and you'll be compensated," Zhao Yu replied indifferently. He was well aware of the characters of people like stubble-bearded Big Brother. No morals, no boundaries, no brains. They weren't exactly desirable subordinates, nor fit for security roles. Yet he still kept them around, as they might be useful for his future plans. Stubble-bearded Big Brother didn't dare ask further and began describing the black market outside the city. Zhao Yu had a basic understanding of the external black market. Bing City wasn't named for no reason. It's cold all year round, where water can instantly freeze. Outside the city lies an underground ice and snow city, built to entertain tourists. Ever since the Empire arrived here, the city was abandoned. Due to its intricate, maze-like layout, it gradually became a black market. Soon, the group left the city. What used to be a relatively clean road was now overgrown with weeds, causing the vehicle to jostle as they drove. "Hold on tight, brother. This road is quite rough." The roads used to be clean. Others, prompted by the surroundings, revealed melancholy in their eyes. In the past, roads like these had designated personnel for cleaning. However, such projects have long been abandoned, or perhaps the funds allocated for them were misappropriated. Old days. Zhao Yu gripped the handle tightly, swaying with the bumpy movements of the car. Finally, they stopped in front of a castle carved from ice blocks. "We're here, brother Zhao Yu." "All right, lead the way." "Boss, we found him." Some people saw Zhao Yu heading to the black market, a subordinate reported. Hua Dahai was overjoyed and quickly asked, "Is he alone?" "No, he has a few people with him. The one leading them seems to be Green Hat Rong." Green Hat Rong was stubble-bearded Big Brother's nickname. Almost everyone who mixed in these circles knew about him, which was how he got such a moniker.
Green Hat Rong?
A look of disdain appeared on Hua Dahai's face. They were involved in legitimate business, belonging to the real risk-takers. But Green Hat Rong, while avoiding conflicts with other businessmen, would only dare to pick on ordinary folks. In their eyes, Green Hat Rong was barely half a businessman. "Big Brother, should we bring guns?" "Of course. How can you go to the black market without a gun?" Ilyuo Dahai had over 20 subordinates. All of them were experienced combat elite. Lai directly ordered half of them to stay behind to guard their base, and took the rest with him. "Brother Zhao Yu, what exactly are we here for?" Zhao Yu was wandering around for quite a while, and seeing that he had spoken to several stall owners without striking any deals, stubble-bearded Big Brother couldn't help but become curious. Zhao Yu stroked his chin, pondering whether or not to reveal his plans. "You've been following me, and I consider you all my brothers. So, let me be honest with you. I might not lose the gamble I have with the Huang family. Just 10 million. I'm confident I can double it within a month. Although I've never done business, I'm well established the plan and know the effective." Zhao Yu's speech was soon overheard by many people nearby. Especially the mention of 10 million directly attracted many people. With a poker face, Zhao Yu continued, "But starting a new business from scratch is too slow. It's hard to make it big in just a month. So, I'm thinking of acquiring some companies that are on the brink of bankruptcy due to poor management. With my abilities, it should be easy to get back on its feet. By then, let alone 20 million. Even 30 or 50 million will be a drop in the bucket." Stubble-bearded Big Brother and the others were uncertain if what Zhao Yu was dreaming or if he truly had such capabilities. They even more uncertain if Zhao Yu really managed to do it within a month. Little did they know, Zhao Yu were actually meant for the ears of those business owners on the brink of bankruptcy. Upon hearing Zhao Yu's words, they'd surely regard him as a naive youth and approach him for acquisition discussions. Brother Zhao Yu, stop talking. Stubble-bearded Big Brother felt a chilling presence surrounding them. He realized they had drawn unwanted attention and hurriedly alerted Zhao Yu. Brother Zhao Yu, one shouldn't flaunt their wealth here. Upon spotting the gunman from the Huang family, he sighed in relief. The Huang family's guards were not expecting Zhao Yu to visit such a place and casually talk about tens of millions. Wasn't this increasing their workload? The leader of the group noticed that many around them were already drawing their guns. He promptly signaled his men to spread out. Soon, the Huang families gathered around Zhao Yu, shielding him from potential harm. Respected friends of the underworld, I am the captain of the Huang family's 3rd Protection Squad. I am tasked by the Huang family to protect this young man for a month. The 10 million is indeed real, but it concerns a bet and involves the reputation of the Su family. Anyone who interferes with this bet will meet a deadly fate. The appearance of the group of armed men naturally put the surrounding crowd on alert. Hearing his words, confusion spread among them. Many were unaware of Zhao Yu's bet with the Huang family and began to pull out their phones, contacting well-informed associates to understand the situation. Moreover, 10 million, if converted to cash, would weigh several hundred kilograms. Who would carry that around? The crowd finally began to calm down. They realized it must surely be in a bank account. Thus, Zhao Yu couldn't be killed, at least not before they could coerce the password from him. The password is 6/8. At that moment, an ill-timed voice resonated through the crowd. Zhao Yu was holding up his bank card. He shouted loudly, "The card is on me. The password is 6/8. Who dares to snatch it? A bunch of rats lurking in the sewers. Do you think you're worthy? Worthless." Stubble-bearded Big Brother had thought that Zhao Yu was someone of substance, but by the look of things now, was he just a reckless fool? Could such words be uttered at a time like this? The 3rd Protection Squad's captain felt the urge to stab Zhao Yu right in the heart. Click. Suddenly, the sound of bullets being chambered echoed throughout the venue. You all need to think clearly. If you kill him, neither the Huang nor the Su families will spare you. He hadn't given up and continued to invoke the names of the Huang and Su families, attempting to intimidate the crowd. A stall owner, who had been sharpening a knife from the beginning, finally couldn't help but smile after hearing this. After pulling off this job, I'm leaving Bing City for good. Huang family, Su family, what of it? Once out of here, they mean nothing.
Bang! Bang!
Gunfire began. Fortunately, the Huang family's guards were wearing bulletproof vests. In the initial onslaught, only a few unlucky ones were shot in the head, dying instantly. Fire! There was no need for the captain's command. Chaos reigned. Zhao Yu immediately crouched down, allowing Stubble-bearded Big Brother and his men to surround and shield him. Half a minute later, with more than a dozen bodies lying around, the captain of the Huang family's squad could no longer hold back. He exclaimed, "The card belongs to the Huang family. We've notified the bank. Every transaction requires the Huang family's approval to process. It's useless even if you steal it." The intensity of the gunfire decreased significantly. The Huang family's captain felt the situation was ludicrous. Admitting such a thing would undoubtedly incur the wrath of the Huang family. But under the current circumstances, he had no other choice. "How can we believe what you say?" Someone shouted back. "The card was issued by the Bing City Bank. You can't use it outside here," Captain Huang shouted. This time, no questions asked any further. After a brief silence, the ill-intentioned people dispersed. Everything was happening as he had predicted. Soon, the crowd parted. Captain Huang of the squad team rushed up, grabbing Zhao Yu and punched on his face. Zhao Yu stumbled and fell to the ground. Captain Huang brutally kicked him and said, "Kid, if you dare to act recklessly again, 1 foot 11 inches shoot you." There were over a dozen bodies. Half of them belonged to the Huang family, men under this captain's command. Apart from those who were killed, several others were lying on the ground, moaning in pain. Heh. Zhao Yu reached out and pulled a pistol from the waistband of stubble-bearded Big Brother.
Bang! Bang!
Thud dash. Thud dash. Two men who were standing just a moment ago now lay on the ground. Click dash. The next second, dozens of guns were aimed at Zhao Yu. Captain Huang hadn't expected Zhao Yu to be this audacious. With a click, he chambered a round in his pistol, ready to finish Zhao Yu off with a single shot. Shoot. Your entire family will be buried with me. Zhao Yu didn't flinch. He pushed his forehead against the muzzle, grinning menacingly. Everyone cooled down instantly. Only the stubble-bearded big brother and his group seemed confused. They all knelt on the ground, repeatedly begging for mercy. Boss, please don't kill me. It's not my fault. He took the gun himself. Please spare my life. They were guards raised by the Huang family, with their families completely under Huang's control. Zhao Yu's leverage was just like Captain Huang had previously told the ill-intentioned ones. Until the duel was over and the Su family's reputation was at stake, the Huang family must ensure Zhao Yu's safety. If Zhao Yu were to die, these guards and their families would accompany him in death. Captain Huang bolstered his gun, seemingly ready to resort to physical violence again. Heh. With a punch and kick I received, I will kill 2 of your men. We're even now, right? You. Only then did Captain Huang realize that Zhao Yu killed his men as retribution for the blows he delivered. Why had he hit Zhao Yu in the first place? It was all because of Zhao Yu's remark that others had started the fight, resulting in the death of several of his comrades. At this juncture, several guards approached their captain. Captain, think of our families. Hold back for now. For those who have died, regardless of their prior relationships, the living must consider their own well-being. Captain Huang closed his eyes, taking a deep breath, and declared, Zhao Yu, in 1 month, I'll make sure you die in my hand. I'll be waiting. Zhao Yu replied him. Zhao Yu didn't care at all about the deaths of the Huang family's guards. According to the information obtained by Xiao Lu, every one of these guards under the Huang family had their hands stained with the blood of innocents who rebels against them. Let's go. Such a lively black market, but now the party was over. Zhao Yu tossed the handgun to the stubble-bearded big brother and walked towards the exit. Stubble-bearded big brother hurriedly bowed his head to the Captain Huang and followed behind Zhao Yu, murmuring, I'm holding it for him. I'm holding it for him. Captain Huang ordered a few men to stay behind and clean up the aftermath, while the others continued to follow and protect Zhao Yu. Stubble-bearded big brother and his gang included Huang Mao, closely followed Zhao Yu's footsteps, their teeth chattering incessantly. No one had expected that Zhao Yu would be so audacious. He dared to kill one of them, and not only did the guards not dare retaliate, they begrudgingly continued to protect him. This was precisely Zhao Yu's intention. While Huang's guards seemed to protect him, they also monitored him to prevent him from escaping Bing City. There was a stage where he needed to break away from the Huang family's guards in his plan. If he didn't assert his status among them, that stage of his plan would be near impossible to execute. Just as they exited the ice castle's gates, a group of people surrounded them.
Attack.
Upon Hua Dahai's command, his men started attacking with various rods and sticks. Zhao Yu pushed the stubble-bearded big brother in front of him as his shield and rapidly retreated backward. They've got guns. A subordinate caught the stubble-bearded big brother, noticed the gun in his hand, and shouted in alarm. Hua Dahai hurriedly drew his gun and aimed it at the stubble-bearded big brother. The poor stubble-bearded big brother, still trying to grasp the situation, found himself with a gun pointed at his head. Out of fear, he quickly threw the gun on the ground and knelt down. Spare me, coward. Hua Dahai spared the stubble-bearded big brother. Without paying him much attention, Hua Dahai commanded his men to chase after Zhao Yu. Chase him down. Don't let Zhao Yu escape. His underlings immediately split into 2 groups. One group chasing after Zhao Yu, and the other brutally attacking the stubble-bearded big brother and his companions. Huang Mao too was pinned down and beaten. His initial desire to thrive in the underworld faded considerably after this ordeal. He had never imagined that life in this world was so cheap. So many died without a purpose. And he was well aware that when people died like this, it's as if they died in vain.
Bang!
A gunshots echoed from inside the castle. Hua Dahai felt an ominous premonition in his heart. He hurriedly signaled his men to draw their guns, secure the castle entrance, and ambush from both sides. Without waiting long, a spherical object rolled out onto the ground. "Take cover." Hua Dahai shouted the warning, and he dove to the side. But it was too late. The guards of the Huang family were experienced in combat, and the grenades they threw exploded almost instantly. Flames and smoke engulfed the area, and 2 people who were too close were instantly killed. Although Hua Dahai managed to dodge, he was still affected by the explosion. His chest was injured. "Capture them alive. I want to know who sent them." The voice of the captain of the Huang family's guards rang out. A group of people emerged, expertly tied up Hua Dahai and his men. The guard captain's expression was solemn, as he recalled the words of the leader of the Huang family had told him before departing. "Those who have their eyes on Zhao, you are not just greedy opportunists. Be wary of those sent by our competitors and enemies." This was the reason the Huang family sent an entire team of guards to protect Zhao Yu. They were concerned that the Huang family's competitors or enemies might seize the opportunity to kill Zhao Yu, prompting the Su family to retaliate against the Huang family. However, the leader of the Huang's family had analyzed that a few enemies would not dare to act brazenly. Instead, they would hire outsiders unrelated to their families to do their dirty work. Hence, a whole guard team was essentially sufficient. In a short while, 6 or 7 people were tightly bound. Hua Dahai, as the leader, was the first to be brought before the captain of the guards. "Speak, who sent you?" "Tui." Hua Dahai spat a thick gob of saliva. A cold glint flashed in the captain's eyes, and he took matters into his own hands, beginning the torture. Zhao Yu watched from the side, curious about who sent this group. If the elder Huang had thought of something, Zhao Yu had naturally thought of it as well. He had even specially checked the situation of the Huang family's enemies. Despite prolonged torture, not one of them spoke up. "Very well, take them all back. Let's see if your mouths are tougher than my torture instruments." The captain of the Huang family guards laughed coldly. At that moment, stubble-bearded Big Brother, who felt insecure about his safety and stood close to Zhao Yu, whispered, "He seems to be Hua Dahai. You know him?" The captain turned his head. After taking a closer look at Hua Dahai, stubble-bearded Big Brother confirmed, "It's him, Hua Dahai. He hangs around in our area and has over 20 men under him."
Hua Dahai.
Zhao Yu felt that Hua Dahai's face looked familiar, as if he had seen him somewhere. Now that he looked closer, didn't he resemble Hua Shaoxi a bit? He stepped forward, gripped Hua Dahai's chin, and coldly said, "What is Hua Shaoxi to you?" Hua Dahai showed a burst of killing intent, but then, as if recalling something, he quickly denied, "One don't know what you're talking about." Although he reacted quickly, a few people still noticed. The captain of the guard frowned. Could it be that these people are Zhao Yu's personal enemies?